Before we get into this video, my camera bag is an absolute state because of the still wall shoot I did the other week, so we're going to tidy that up quickly. Note to self, don't put still wall in the camera key compartment, because it's a nightmare. I've had this camera bag for about 2 years now, and that's the first time I've ever cleaned it out. Considering where it's been, that's kind of bad. But I'm also impressed with how clean it is. This is probably now the perfect time to redo my camera cube, but I can't be arsed right now, so let's get on with the video. Okay, so the next Peter Mckinnon photo assignment has been released, and that subject or theme for this week is contrast. So I want to do the same again, doing a video of my thought process behind it and the shot I'm going to get. I started it earlier this time. I'm not doing it the day before, I'm actually doing it a few days in advance so I can get this done. I've been brainstorming ideas all morning for this, and recently another YouTuber I watched called Mike Chudley did a tutorial on how to Photoshop a surreal looking effect where your hands are covering your face, but they're not, they look like they're growing out of your face. I'll put the photo here and I'll link him somewhere so that you can see the tutorial yourself. But a really, really cool photo and a really good tutorial on how to do it. I've never done any photo manipulation like that. I'd quite like to give that a go. The idea I've come to is, obviously we're in lockdown, we're in isolation, and there's good and bad moments. I feel like with contrast, the first thing that comes to my head is good, evil, good and bad. So I'm thinking some sort of photo manipulation where half of my face is happy and half of my face is sad. I don't want any intense background or dramatic distracting background. I'm thinking just a black background or a white background. And I've got this big ass frame which did have a poster in, but it's now just got a white piece of paper in it. I've also got some black card, so we can incorporate that and use that as our background. But that's the idea. Let's see how this goes. Okay, I don't know if this background's going to work as well as I hoped, because as you can see, it's reflective. So, because of the plastic on top, so it makes sense. But I might have to find another way of doing this. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the white paper out of the frame, blue tack it to my wardrobe here, camera on the tripod on the floor here, and get the shot. So I'm an idiot. That fell over and it has bent the paper. Why am I like this? Alright, read on the photos. I've got a background out in the garage instead. Future Luke here. I'm mid-editing this and I've just realised I never actually explained what happened. So the first set of photos I tried to do didn't go to plan. They were all out of focus, the exposure levels were wrong because the sun was changing and causing different amounts of light to come in and out of the room. The background fell down. They were just a disaster. So we went out and tried it again in the garage with a new backdrop, and that's what I'm about to edit in the video now. I'm going to crack on with editing these and see what we can get out of them. I'm not going to film myself editing away for that because, to be honest, I'm probably going to be watching tutorials to do it because I've never done a manipulation like this. So I will see you in a bit when this is all done and we'll go through the photos. Yeah. Peep the new background. Okay, so it's been a couple of days now since we did the photos. I went and found another location out in my garage using this backdrop that we put up on the wall just to make it look pretty. But yeah, I agreed to the photos. The photos themselves came out alright, and then we hit a very crucial issue with this, is that I'm not very good at Photoshop at all. So when it came to doing it and I was following tutorials, it didn't go as well as I hoped. I've got a final product from it. I was going to do it again, but I've decided to stop chasing perfection because I'm not going to get it. This is my first attempt at a proper photoshopping thing, so we're going to go over what we've got. So as in the beginning I mentioned it was inspired by Mike Chudley's hand photo. I was going to do something inspired by that, cover my hand with my face, but I didn't actually get the right photos to be able to match them afterwards. So yeah, and plus that doesn't really go over the theme of contrast, it was just more than I wanted to try out. So I'll try it again at some point. So this is the final shot. Yeah, it's just, I look a bit like a hillbilly with no bottom lip on one half, to be honest. It doesn't look as quite as dramatic as I'd hoped. I was going for the contrast between happy and sad. So one half of my face was meant to be sad, one half was meant to be happy. Each half isn't, I feel like each half needed to be more over the top happy and over the top sad to make this more dramatic. I ended up using Photoshop, I made one of my eyes look a bit red so it looked like I've been crying sort of thing. But yeah, I really struggled to get the lip lines to match and to get the teeth suddenly there without it looking unnatural. Well, too unnatural, obviously it's going to look unnatural anyway because of what it is. I also photoshopped the background to be black and white. I didn't like the colour, I thought it would look better black and white. The lighting itself is fine in my opinion, but yeah, it's right. I probably could do better, but I'd be spending ages trying it and trying it and trying it, and I just kind of wanted to get this one done. That's going to be my submission for the challenge, and yeah, on to the next one next week. But yeah, the whole point of it is the fact that I actually tried. I've never done Photoshop like this before, so it was a learning curve for me anyway, and yeah, it's my first attempt. Hopefully like this time next year or something I'll look back on that photo and be like, oh my god, why did I post that? Because hopefully I'll be better at Photoshop. But yeah, it's not amazing, it is what it is. But yeah, that's my submission for this week's Peter Mckinnon Photo Assignment. If you're getting involved, tag me in them as well. I want to see them on Instagram. I've linked my Instagram down below as always. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe for more content, all the other stuff that YouTubers tell you to do. And if not, I will see you next time. Peace.